February 23, 11:56 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Hello and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney episode 29. This should be episode 29, yeah. Yeah, I'm back and we're going to continue. Mr. White? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there. Pretty much. Except today, we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chamber. Probably something to do with the piece of cloth. So this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon a tiny insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant to tell the truth. Hold up, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull. It fired up its temper. That's what they told me when I was younger, at least. Officer Marshall. Though I'll come take a look-see at how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort of enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about the people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say? Now don't that just beat all? I seen the wet breeze blow at her slender neck many times. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the award ceremony that afternoon, Edgeworth seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So Miss Starr wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partners, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go wherever it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this. So what are we swimming in now? What are we swimming in now, Mr. White? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine webs, oh we. February 23, 12:32 p.m. District Courtroom number. We are going direct back to court. That's not really that enjoying. Okay, yeah. I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That's for bro, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are on focus, you're doubled over your back here. It can't be, this can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well done, I believe it's time to continue on with this trial. During our recess I had requested that the prosecution conduct and investigate. This is unacceptable. It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock. Who's there? What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey there, temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? It's you. Oh, sorry I'm late, Archie. The roads were packed, it's just me. Long time no see, Archie. How you been? Swim much these days? Oh, hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy, Archie, my boy, you have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Archie seems to be his nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? You're wright, the attorney. I heard good things about you, son. Thanks. So sorry about little Worthy giving you all that trouble there. You know, we should all go swimming together sometimes, jolly. Little Worthy? Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police. He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Gant. Damon Gant. Pleased to meet ya, everyone. To what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came into this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. That's my sister's muffler. So Mrs. Starr wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Mrs. Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. Only the Worthy's car, no less. It's really quite embarrassing even for us. What's this? Is that what you call a switchblade knife? Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? No. Wait a minute, Worthy. I know I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature is here, Miles Edgeworth. That's not fair. On the day of the crime I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're that person in charge. I expect a writing apology. What, are you serious? Don't be upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah. The court will accept this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defendants a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade on it? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch, and if I cut my fingers, Mr. White, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. Oh, come on. Ping, 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 ping. Ah, don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at that knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stained blood. Found at the crime scene wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Small tag attached. This doesn't excuse the action of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure thing. Not a problem, not even a little one, really. Department in disorder. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department. See, what a mess. The time of the crime was 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not official link to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department, a detective. That's hush information, Archie. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order. Anyways, we at the department, we are all flustered, as you might well assume. Well, we are in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. White, 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I like to exercise my right to cross-examine this witness. Very well, however, keep your question focused on the case at hand. Department in disorder. The knife is special, but I can't say how here. Excuse me, special. Hard to come by that particular knife anywhere else. Might that special thing be that this little tag? Oh, sorry, Writer, but I can't say that now. Not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in a muffler. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. This knife was found on the scene of a crime. I think that makes a connection to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Whitehall. Maybe there's something about this knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can go. we can, Whitehall. Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting that piece of evidence that had me stumped at this time. So how are things down at the department? That was a bad day for the department, and we weren't in any shape of investigation. Okay, let's investigate this one a little bit more. There's a small tag on the knife. It says SL92. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not sure, but it reminds me of a similar code. DL6, maybe it's a case number. That's weird. What? I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar to what written on this tag. It wasn't that long ago either. Maybe I should check the court records again. Okay, nothing here. #67S. SL92. Entered at 12:15. Is there something that I missed? I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, but I don't remember that number exactly. Something happened at the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eyes. There's right, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So something did happen. And why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand you were busy with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? A detective was killed at the police department. See, what a mess. At the same day, a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot. Another detective was killed at the police department. That's a fact, surprisingly, isn't it, Adji? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect, just arrested them, in fact. Just arrested, that was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Whitehall. I suppose I could help, if you help me by giving me data on your case. Ah, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and only one thing. Where was it? When did the victim die? How was the victim? Where was the police department when it was 15? How the victim was killed? Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife. A knife. That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's just the spirit we're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There was more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. It seems I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. The time of crime was 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? 5:15, but that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office. What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's office and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances? Coincidence? This is just my gut feeling, but I say there is a 0.001% chance of that happening. Chief Grant, please tell us more about the incident. It's not official linked to this case here, so I can't talk much about it. How can you say there's no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Whiteo, you understand? Try to understand, Whiteo. Well, if you can prove there is a connection, more power than to you. Maybe there is something that ties the two murders together. Whatever it is, I better find it and get to the bottom of this. Two detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And that knife. What was it doing there? I better check this knife out again. The knife is special, but I can't say how here. Well, I found it. It was... unless the evidence is to prove that a connection between the knife and Goodman. So, there is an S, and then... Okay, first here we have this one, SL92. We have here an S, L, the 7 is an upside L, the 6 is a 9, and then there is a 2 down there. So, yeah, this is it. Wait a second. Ah, at last, an honest and goodness objection. This knife, this has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Ah, and honest to goodness, what do you mean? From Archie, this is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92. And this is important. Why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minutes 7s 12:2 12 seconds. Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside. The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get? Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag. Order. Well, Chief. Ah, well. I guess that cat's out of the bag. You win, Whiteo. Win. What game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in a case it was stolen from the department evidence room. This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department evidence room. So this knife was stolen. Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say? Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice. Good show, little Worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happened. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection here. There. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't... Wait, did we get a new evidence? That was a bad day for the department. We went in any shape to do investigation. Something happened at the... Okay. The detective was killed. The police department, see, what a mess. At the time, it's not official link, but there... How can you say there is no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say you understand, right? Well, if you can prove there is a connection more, maybe there's something ties these two murders together. Whatever it is, I better find it. 2 detectives were killed. The knife was stolen evidence in a case solved from the department evidence. So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second, I have heard of that. The evidence room, didn't he mention that his testimony just now? This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the 2 cases. It seems happy. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With this link between the 2 cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Grant to testify about the details. I'm not officially linked this case. I can't talk about much. Okay, Chief, the defense position is simply this. The connection between these 2 cases has already been proven. Heh? You don't say. Well, out with it, Whito. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. White. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife was found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in the very same evidence room. Indeed. There still seems to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deducted. Right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim on the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet at all. And all. Can we get information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. After what, really? Who would have guessed? I cooperated, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department. If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who is it from that? Of course not. You won't tell me the names after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers. You don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. 58218. Well, that's quite long. And well, have to remember these, it drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it. You didn't even get the first numbers right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The name of the victim of the police. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning, it has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department. Tell us something. Tells you something? What does it tell you? This, it's the same number. Witness. Is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just I got confused. And this is news. Huh? Just come out with it, both guns blazing, like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, it happened to have a police ID number here. Oh ho, is it yours? No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Wright, personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman ID number is 5842189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID we heard from the chief earlier, that started with 2I2, I forgot. You didn't even get the first numbers right again. The numbers of chief of police gave us was 8584189. Wait a second, right? What does this mean? What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective was killed in the police department evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does a witness think about that? Oh, ha ha ha. Sharp as a tack, Whiteo. Sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet, Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exactly same time. That's impossible. So what we're saying is the same person was killed at the same time. And it in a completely different location. Order. Chief, what does this mean? No. What I want to know is why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case. Now just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error, Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How dare? We informed you yesterday I believe it was our Officer McKins who brought you the news. Officer McKins. Mr. White, we heard that name before. Wait, aha. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premise? I'm here, sir, at the request of the sea chief. So I got your report, sir. You don't mean him. According to McKinsey, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim name is written right on the top of the report. Grr. Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making up the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But, sir, you couldn't have submitted the report this morning on the court as evidence? Then No such luck this time, Worthy, or should I say unworthy? What? Now what was the second rule of evidence law, Well, Mr. White, well, it's rule to unregistered evidence present must be relevant to the case on trial, and this rule relevant. Normally you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by wright over there. Good job, wright, my boy. I was just doing my job. No. It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumors? You weren't even in the defendant chair just the past December. You were even in the defendant chair just this December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I get to the bottom of what happened if it's the last thing I do. You better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's even been an error this serious in history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment was, this is for your sake. I hope it's not decisive. Very well, court is adjourned. To be continued. Yeah, no idea how long this episode is going to be, but I thank you for watching. It was fun, and yeah, we are going to continue next time with day 3. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you feel like it, comment if you feel like it, and yeah. Bye bye. Hope you enjoyed it. Adios.